Separating the mind from the heart is an awareness that only a person can arrive at if they choose to think in this matter of separating the mind from the heart. Uh, They're all interconnected. There is no separation in a life ultimately. But during the course of the process of self-discovery, it's important to understand that people will go through the journey of rationalization to understand. The danger with staying in a rational state as far as the relationships we have with others and and what we set out to achieve in finding our true power. It limits us. It limits us from a couple of points. But the first one that comes to mind is the behavior when somebody is in a very rational state and a mind state and a logical state. Um, anyone who is experiencing people in that state, or if you are individually identifying that you may be in a state of being very rational and logical and articulated in the mind, and you project that onto the world. Whatever comes out of each one of us, that's not rocket science. We will project that onto onto the world, and the world in general is won't be compassionate towards you. It is somewhat, nor will it be understanding to the levels that you need it to be to soothe a person that's not in a heart state. But as I said, we are all in one state anyway. But we need to understand that we go through the process of both states to arrive at our level of understanding and equilibrium emotionally. We're at peace from seeing the benefits of moving out of more so of a headspace from a mind state, from a rational state. If you're ready to move out of it, like, everybody arrives at different junctions and stops and, yeah, stations in their lives. Or you probably wouldn't be watching us if you weren't motivated to be open to maybe new ways of living in your life. But if you just get stuck in your own arrogance, then that's I might be disregarded, or other people might be disregarded, or you might disregard lots of things, and you're not even consciously aware you're disregarding it. But I just want to point out some telltale signs of people who act in two different states, and why it's hard to reach people in both states when you're seeking relations or connections in any given situations, in friendships, in social, personal, media. lovers, relationships with your family and kids. Yeah, and what you want, because both states will offer support in being part of what you're trying to achieve. But from a rational point of view and from a mind point of view, usually people who are in mind states and they don't really get too emotional. They're usually controlling. Um, there's a form of protection that they've created around them. They want to portray to the world that they're together, that they have no problems or struggles in life. Any struggles or problems come from people outside of themselves, and it's other people that they're the reason why they are like that. They're usually sarcastic. They blame a lot. Um, they don't see any emotional scars because they're consciously aware of their inability to cope when they go into an emotional state where they've got no control over limitations, or it's not rational there. So anything that's not rational just puts them completely out of whack. And they show their weakness unconsciously and they don't even know they're showing it. It's as clear as the nose on that appears on somebody's face to somebody that can see. Um, they're struggling, and they struggle big time with things like living in the past, um, victimization, not happy with life, always sad, and living back where things have gone and things have moved on, but they seem to get stuck back there. So, envisaging something in the future regarding forward thinking, um, it's hard for them to do that. It's really hard because being stuck in pain and struggle from events that's going to happen to everybody. We're all going to go through disappointment, and we're all going to go through hurt, and we're all going to go through pain, and we're all going to go through a time in our life in the past where we think it was better than what it is right now. And we all live in the past somewhat, but when we start emotionally getting affected by it, where it saddens us, and the moment is not taken for the great time it is, and the opportunities that are in the moments for everybody. It's there, but when you're in your mind and it's a struggle and you don't see what you've created and what's keeping you there, well, you're going to stay there, and it's going to probably go through to the end of your life until you can get some new ways and open up yourself to other possibilities that if that's worked, then then stay there. But your life really should be about working towards emotional happiness and freedom, where um, you're very content, and you'll know that when you stop being sarcastic, and you'll know that when you stop being mean, and you will know that when you don't behave where you need to put others down for you to feel better about yourself. Um, yeah, you become a negative, a negative weight ultimately on everyone that you're associated with. But there's an opportunity in there if you're courageous enough to take it. But that's only you that can start having compassion and pull yourself up when you're going to be mean to other people, and um, try doing nice things and acting differently around people that you acted yesterday and the day before, and be aware of yourself. Be aware of what you're doing. Be aware of your behaviour is having an indirect impact on you and others around you. And I'm telling you, if you're the stuff that I mentioned regarding blaming all the time and sarcastic, and you're always envious and jealous and bitter and resentful and not happy with yourself and life as it is and living in the past, mate, if you're in there, you're putting a lot of shit out. You're putting a lot of shit out, and people aren't liking it. No, people aren't liking it. And they're not telling you, but I'm telling you, it's a fucked way to live. And you do no good for yourself nor others when you're in that framework. It's too self-centered. And, you can get out of it. But, as I said, it takes wanting to change to get out of it. And you're going to need tools that you can confidently think you can use. Because anybody can throw a set of tools in your hand, but if you don't know how to use them, you're not going to build nothing, or you're not going to fix nothing. Tools are one thing. Application is completely different to that. Completely different. That takes courage. That takes work. That takes vulnerability. That takes really putting yourself out there. But going to the other place where you can develop a more understanding for yourself and understanding for others, like just compassion in the heart. And here's the thing about thinking of the heart compared to the mind control and acting all the time and logically putting it all together, which is good. It has its points, and it's purposeful, but it's hard to stay there to get value out of it, because if you just stay um, understanding that 1 plus 1 equals 2 and 2 plus 2 equals 4, um, you you mightn't get down into the good stuff where the compassion lies, and the understanding, and the good stuff where you've got empathy, um, like for other people, and when I say compassion, we gain everything we change within ourselves in the relationships with others. So that's the gain. You become more compassion. You be aware of having empathy for others, and doing things for other people, and changing things in your life that you're not happy with. Um, that's really important, and that's that's emotional confidence and freedom. Usually, when you're always in your mind and you're controlling your life, you're limited and your freedom's limited. Because soon as you get to a point where life starts putting you out of whack, you mightn't want to go there. But they're the places you need to go to from an emotional position. Um, just concentrating where your heart is, like focusing on your left side or in the middle, wherever you perceive your heart to be. Uh, Focus on that with your intent when you're trying to be more loving and be more understanding and be kind and having thoughtfulness for other people. And yeah, it's really important to be loving and yeah, and to be a really nice person um, to others from your heart. If you lead from the heart and with compassion, um, the jealousy and the enviness and the not too quick to anger, it does start drifting away. Um, it does start moving, and it starts to give you more acceptance within your soul. It opens up channels that you haven't been to. But yeah, it needs to be intented with your thoughts. The intention has to go to the heart. And if you can stay there instead of going to your mind, um, it's a better place to be. It's a much better place to be. Um, and you operate and you interact better there with other people just on the basis of the compassion and the thoughtfulness and the respect you have for other human beings, irrespectively of how they've affected you, or your personal or your logical thought in how you behave and how you interact, irrespectively of that. You get to compassion and love and caring for others, and you're gonna treat people differently. I can assure you, you will treat people differently. And when we treat people differently, people start treating us differently. So if you're not happy with how people treat you, change yourself. Change yourself, and your world will change. Stay in your head. Stay doing what you think has controlled your life and has made you independently. Um, and it does. We do control situations, and we do go through, getting up every day and doing things, or not getting up every day and not doing things, or acquiring dreams or desires or goals, or in any aspect. Or maybe we don't do any of that and we just go to the shops, whatever you want to do, whatever floats your boat. But thinking of the heart and coming from the heart will get us away from comparing ourselves to others, and thinking, putting others on the same level as us. Like the only separation in this world is our own attitude in what you see as you're separate to everybody else. That's where separation starts. And we do that in the head. It's safe in the head. It's logical in the head. It's rational in the head. But you can become cold and distant in the head. And you can become emotionally unavailable in the head to other people, where people feel they can't connect with you. So, yeah, a little bit of food for thought, and the separation in respect to your mind, to your heart, It's all focus. When you're logically working things out, you go to your mind and you think about things. It's exactly the same going to your heart, down at your chest. Think about your heart all the time. Come from your heart, not your head. You can also find me on Anchor. I have a podcast there called True Crime and Prison Diaries, and that's Dean King on Anchor. I'll leave the link. I've also got a best-selling book that has been self-published. Uh, it's been extremely well received. Um, Check out the reviews, www.kinghitbook.com. Hopefully, there's enough info there that may interest you to look how I turned it around in my life. Yeah, by all accounts, the readers are saying it's a remarkable story. It's had very good reviews. Um, Also, I do YouTube stuff, so I will also include that link. Um, I've also got a lot of information on Facebook, and I do Instagram. And on top of that, yeah, if you want to hit the bell, or I'd appreciate if you could subscribe if there was any value in this for yourself, or if you got anything out of it. Yeah, or speak up, leave a comment. Don't be shy. I welcome comments. And on top of that, you have a great day and stay warm.